talk about it real quick. So the new stuff that's came out is he made Ime Udoka made unwanted comments. So also, should I play the Matt Barnes clip?
No, basically Matt Barnes just said he received word on the situation. He said it's much deeper than we all thought, 100 times worse or something.
Yeah, it's a much deeper. He said it's a lot messier and uglier than you would expect, because this is a quote unquote from what Matt Barnes said is Matt Barnes apologized for when it initially happened for coming out and defending Ime Udoka. Yeah. And Matt Barnes put out a statement on his Instagram saying, "I am sorry. I pride myself as a media person that I only speak with facts." And yesterday I came out and said, in defense of Ime Udoka, somebody called me afterwards and filled me in with all the details of the situation, and it's a lot deeper, uglier, and messier than anyone could imagine. He said he wasn't going to speak on the information, and we assume that in the future it will come to light. But supposedly the information that I've heard that the Ime Udoka is that it was a volume of violations, okay? And he supposedly, like, there's something, like, I don't know, like...
Yeah, we still don't really know.
And then, like...
There's people speculating it was an executive's wife and that it became unconsensual. Well, there's definitely more to this story than just what's out there.
I'm laughing. You know the guy I interviewed from The Athletic, Mike Virkanov?
That we did or you did? What
I interviewed a guy from The Athletic. Okay. Mike Virkanov. He tweeted, Brad Stevens says he will absolutely not step into the Celtics this season if the team does not perform well. Stevens said he didn't even discuss it, but then Grosbeck steps in and said they did, but it was a short discussion. Stevens was very complimentary. Brad Stevens was probably in that office. He's like, yeah, we never discussed it. And then Grosbeck comes in. We kind of did. And Stevens in the back of his mind was just like, yeah, when it all came down, he's like, I could step in. So
yeah, he's got to, like what you were saying yesterday, he's got to play the Popovich role where, let him do the thing for a year and then next season.
Hey, Andre, what do you mean? So are you saying
Andre TP?
Andre, are you saying the woman he had a consensual relationship with was a high-ranking exec? So he
That's the rumor.
Because first off, isn't it alleged that
rumor, though.
I know, isn't it alleged that Nia Long and Ime Udoka were already estranged? They were separated, right? Because they were separated, so he technically wasn't cheating. If they were already,
it's more that rumor specifically is more that it became unwanted or unwarranted, and it became, I don't think unconsensual was the word used, but that's the rumor, is that it became unwanted. Like that.
Wait, so was he the unwanted comments? Was that to a different woman or?
So that rumor specifically is that it's with a high executive's wife that started as consensual and developed into just him making unwanted passes or progressions or whatever the word was.
All right, so let me throw this back at you. So this is all one woman. It's all one woman, or is it two women?
That rumor specifically, I think it's just one woman. But
did he have relationships with two women or one woman?
If that rumor was true, that would be two.
Okay, so from what we know is he had one consensual relationship with a woman, but the new rumor is coming out that there's a second woman that it did start off as a consensual relationship, but then he started making unwarranted comments in the workplace.
Yeah. So I don't really know.
And the second woman, from what Andre's saying, was married to a high ranking. So the woman had an affair, and then he continued to make comments after the affair, and it became unconsensual.
Yeah.
Allegedly, all this is allegedly. We do not have sources with the information. This is all off of speculation. Andre, me, Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know what Matt Barnes was talking about, but like, I still don't.
This has to go deeper. This is
every single thing we read or hear about this is going to progressively get worse, and this is why there is no way, shape, or form Ime Udoka will ever coach another game for the Boston Celtics. I don't know if he'll ever be a coach in the NBA ever again. unfortunately.
Okay, let me read you the quote. Celtics co-owner Wyke Grossbeck says head coach Ime Udoka's future with the organization will be reevaluated following his suspension, which will last through June 30th, 2023. And Ime Udoka's suspension comes with significant financial penalty. There were multiple violations of Celtics code of conduct, like rules broken, like by Udoka. So,
yeah. They're gonna ask for his resignation unless he
feel like
straight up gets fired. I don't know how actually this hasn't happened. This is already way too big of a PR nightmare.
Well, Reggie Bullock tweeted, "I hate to see a black man be torn down."
Yeah, and the thing is like
I want to know the details. Like, what happens if this is worse? Like,
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I was talking about yesterday. Was if Ime was white, would this have gone down the same thing? But this is before we have new developing stories, and we are hearing all this stuff about just how bad it is. Like, this seems like it's going to be way more complicated than race. Like,
yeah, no, this seems like a man in a position of power. Like, that's the whole thing, is like taking up people forget there's when you're in a position of power, regardless, like that, there's people working under you.
Yeah. And this happens in every workspace, but I don't know enough to talk about really either party. Like, this is something that happens in every single space, and people are using Brett Favre as a comparison. Brett Favre isn't the head coach of the Boston Celtics. So if Brett Favre was the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers,
let's just not even talk about Brett Favre. Brett Favre's a fucking terrible human, and me.
That's another situation where it really doesn't seem like we have enough.
I know. Me. I love Brett Favre. He was my favorite quarterback of all time. But with everything coming to light with him, he fucking looking like he allegedly knowingly stole a lot of money from poor families in his state. So.
Yeah.
And so
we'll see.
Either way, no, but yeah, Andre said from his own speculation there was a consensual thing with a non-high-ranking woman. The relationship was broken off. Then he entered into something with a married woman. It was at that time the team found out, because when you're that high up, it's pretty instant. And upon the ranking official finding out, she broke it off. Ime made some comments that weren't appreciated, and now he's out. So that's the multiple infractions.
Brutal.
So I'm going to just show this up here so everyone sees what I just read.
Big Ime basketball supporter, so it's really unideal. But I think
shout out Andre.
Somebody said that he is getting interest already from other teams. So
it'd be a huge PR.
Hopefully, it's not something career-ending.
Yeah. Well, let's pivot. I think we've given that whole Celtic situation enough light. We're already 13 minutes into this show. I just don't want to. It's kind of a dark subject, and I think you and I, we do a good job. Well, same thing with Miles Bridges. We didn't do it with Montrezl Harrell because we both agreed those charges were bullshit and it was unfairly charged. But the similar thing with Miles Bridges, as you guys know, Miles Bridges' court case got pushed back again to the 26th, I believe it was. So. September, and we're just not really talking about like that shit just because we don't know all the facts, and it's just like we don't want to look at the world's already dark enough, so let's not like make it any darker than it needs to be.
Not trying to blame here.
Yeah, so we want to give our reactions, our 2 cents. Now we'll talk about a different guy, and it was announced today that a man who's old, but he has 5 championship rings. I believe 5 championship rings, right? Or is it 4? I think he has 4 championship rings. My apology. He has 4 championship rings.
We're not talking about Chris Paul, I'll tell you that.